Welcome to the deep dive. Think about those moments in history, those industrial revolutions where everything just changed.
Friendly, massive shifts.
Right. And some people adapted, they thrived. Others, well, maybe like those marketing directors who kind of dismissed social media early on, they got left behind.
Yeah, exactly. And we're arguably at another one of those points now with AI.
Absolutely. It feels like a really fundamental reshaping of, well, the whole professional world.
It does. And the big question, the one we're really trying to get under the skin of today, is crucial.
Which is?
What skills, the ones professionals have always valued, can AI actually do now? And what's still uniquely human? For now, at least.
Okay. And to help us figure this out, we're looking at insights from Georgios Fradelos, PhD, dated February 19th, 2025.
That's right.
So our mission for this deep dive, really, is to map this out. Where's AI leaping ahead? Where do humans still, hold the advantage? And what does it all mean for you professionally?
Let's do it. Where shall we start?
How about adaptability and learning agility? Being quick on your feet, basically.
Okay. The source is pretty direct on this. It says in fast-moving industries, this skill is, well, immensely valuable.
Makes sense. But how does AI stack up, according to this early 2025 analysis?
It's stark. The assessment is #AI wins. It says AI can dramatically outperform humans here.
Wow. Okay. So that ability to just soak up new stuff and adjust, AI's got the edge. Big time.
Seems so.
But then what about the bigger picture stuff? Strategic thinking, problem solving. The analysts, the consultants, the finance folks who see the trends.
Right. The people who analyze really complex issues maybe anticipate market shifts.
Exactly.
Well, here the source brings in some uncertainty. It says it remains to be seen the evolving percentage of humans who can actually outperform AI in strategy.
Okay, so it's not a clear win either way yet?
Not definitively.
Right.
But it highlights a critical factor. The humans who can outperform AI here, they'll likely be the ones who know more than basically everyone involved in building and testing the AI itself. Really deep, cutting-edge knowledge.
That really raises the stakes, doesn't it? Okay, what about another core skill? Technical proficiency. Digital fluency, let's call it. Data, AI basics, automation.
Yep. And on this one, the source is very concise.
And?
#AI wins. Just like that. A firm statement on handling technical information.
Okay, so adaptability, learning technical stuff, AI is making real inroads. What about the softer side, communication, collaboration, teamwork?
Now that's interesting. The source's perspective here for our current paradigm anyway is #HumanSwim.
Really? Why is that?
Well, it seems that, the nuance of clear expression, building rapport, navigating complex team dynamics, that's still seen as a human strength.
Yeah.
For now.
Okay, that's somewhat reassuring. What about taking the lead? Initiative, influence, getting teams aligned, leadership, essentially.
Similar story here, according to the source. #HumansWin.
So inspiring people, motivating them, that's still us.
It seems so. That ability to align people towards a goal is viewed as distinctly human currently.
Right. And leadership often involves understanding different cultures, especially globally. What about cultural intelligence, that global perspective?
This is fascinating. The source actually says #AI wins here.
Wait, AI wins on cultural intelligence? How?
The reasoning is, well, it's about learning. AI can just constantly absorb and analyze vast amounts of data about different cultures, nuances, communication styles, without needing, specific performance goals. It just learns continuously.
Huh. So it's not about feeling the culture, but about processing the data on it better.
Kind of, yeah. It can adapt its understanding based on constant updates from countless sources.
Okay, that's unexpected. Now, staying with leadership, but thinking bigger picture, ethics, social responsibility.
Yes, crucial area. And here, the source strongly backs humans. #HumanSwim.
So our moral compass, grappling with ethical gray areas, that remains key.
Definitely. That ability to understand societal impact and navigate complex ethical issues is highlighted as a key human differentiator.
Good. Okay, shifting gears slightly. What about building connections, networking, relationships with peers, mentors? That feels very human.
And the source agrees. The assessment is clear. #HumanSwim.
So personal trust, human interaction,
Yeah.
still invaluable.
Seems so. That value hasn't been replicated yet.
Right. So interpersonal stuff, ethics, leadership, humans still strong. But what about generating new ideas, creativity, innovation, challenging the status quo.
This is where it gets described as more of a shifting landscape, a game of percentages, the source calls it.
Meaning,
Meaning in a constantly growing number of cases, AI can actually do this. It can generate novel ideas, create things. It's not a clear win for either side.
so AI is getting creative, but maybe human ingenuity still has a special place.
Perhaps. It's an evolving area. Definitely one to watch.
Okay. And dealing with pressure, resilience, and crucially, emotional intelligence, understanding and managing emotions.
This one has a really interesting split, according to the source.
Oh, so?
When it comes to pure resilience, like not getting tired, not being swayed by feelings, #AI wins, it just keeps going.
Makes sense. No burnout.
Exactly.
Well,
But when it comes to empathy, understanding and sharing the feelings of others, especially in our current interaction models, #humans win.
okay. So tireless processing versus genuine empathy, that's a key distinction.
A very important one.
Now, the source brings up something called the human bottleneck in AI development. What's that about?
Right. The basic principle is, look, if AI can do a task better or cheaper or faster, then just saying humans are generally superior doesn't hold much water for that task.
Okay.
The current bottleneck, the limitation, seems to be in solving problems that need the most advanced mathematics, the kind very few people truly grasp.
And why is that a bottleneck for AI?
Well, two reasons, really. First, actually programming those super complex theories into code AI can use. It's incredibly hard. And second, you need human experts to even check if the AI's answers are right.
Yeah.
And there just aren't that many people at that absolute peak level of mathematical understanding.
So AI's advance in those areas is literally limited by the number of top-tier human mathematicians.
Essentially, yes. Human expertise is the limiting factor there.
That's fascinating. Which leads into another point, this idea of a new human sprint for advanced official education. What's the thinking?
The source suggests we're getting to a point where maybe a standard bachelor's degree, say a BSc, might not offer the same edge it used to compared to what AI assistants can do.
So the baseline is shifting?
Potentially, yeah. The idea is that professionals might increasingly need more advanced degrees, masters, PhDs, just to maintain their market value relative to AI.
Like an educational arms race, almost.
You could see it that way, upping the ante on human expertise.
Okay. The source also mentions regulations, safety, the pace of AI progress. That seems critical.
Absolutely critical. Like, think about the risks. An AI makes an undetected mistake in, say, finance.
Could be huge losses, right, for firms, banks, clients.
Exactly. And because those stakes are so high, there's likely going to be a gap between what AI could theoretically do in a professional setting and what it's actually allowed to do because of safety rules and regulations.
So progress won't just be this unchecked rocket launch. There will be breaks.
Necessary breaks, yes. Caution will temper the speed of implementation in many areas.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, what about the psychological side, the impact on professionals themselves?
Yeah, this is important. The source points out a potential psychological effect, especially for those whose main advantage has always been their knowledge base.
How so?
Well, if your competitive edge is primarily knowing more stuff, and suddenly AI can access and process way more information faster, that feeling of being the indispensable expert, just based on knowledge alone, might start to erode.
I can see how that could affect confidence, your sense of value.
It definitely could. It suggests a potential shift in where professionals find their core value proposition.
Right.
Okay, the final main point mentioned is really intriguing. The elusive parametrization of charm. What on earth does that mean?
Yeah, it's a great phrase. It's digging into this question. What human activities will keep their value simply because they have, well, charm, an inherent human appeal?
Can you give an example?
The source uses ballet, a human ballet dancer versus a perfectly precise robot dancer. The human performance has a certain charm and aesthetic quality that the robot, however technically perfect, probably lacks.
Okay, I get that. But how does AI relate? Is it trying to learn charm?
Kind of. Developers might try to reverse engineer it, break down what makes something aesthetically pleasing, charm, beauty into parameters, things like the golden ratio, rule of thirds, visual weight, trying to quantify the unquantifiable in a way.
Wow, trying to code charm. And how does this connect back to professional skills?
Well, think about leadership again. A leader with charm is often more effective, right? More inspiring.
Yeah. And the source even speculates about top mathematicians. They often talk about finding beauty in equations. Maybe that ability to perceive mathematical beauty is a form of charm that keeps their value high.
So is it suggesting this charm or beauty perception might be a uniquely human advantage, even in highly technical fields, and maybe it's a loop? The thing that makes them good is also the charming part.
It poses that exact question. Is it a loop? It's a really fascinating thought about where lasting human value might lie.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. Key takeaways. AI is moving fast in adaptability, technical skills, even cultural understanding via data.
Right. Big strides there. But humans, for now, seem to hold ground in communication, true leadership, ethics, networking.
And maybe in the highest level problem solving, the math bottleneck we talked about, and potentially in areas needing that charm factor.
Exactly. And for professionals listening, the message seems to be adapt, adapt, adapt. Maybe pursue higher education to stay ahead of the curve.
And remember that safety and regulations will definitely slow down the rollout of AI in some critical areas. It won't be overnight everywhere.
Absolutely. Plus, that psychological shift needing to find value beyond just knowledge recall.
Yeah. So as we finish this deep dive, here's something to chew on. Given this whole idea of charm being hard to replicate and AI constantly advancing, what other, maybe intangible human qualities might turn out to have unexpected, lasting value in the professional world of the future? What does it really mean to be uniquely human when AI is augmenting so much of what we do?
That's the big question, isn't it? Definitely something to think about.
It certainly is. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.